5A under staff reports, and pertaining to the 2018 Global Student Leadership Summit, request for sponsorship. Maybe Mr. Korlowski can speak to this. It's pertaining to our conversation at the last council meeting.
Thank you, Your Worship. As directed, we went back and we took a look at, from a financial perspective, what would be a recommended amount to support this group should you wish to support the initiative. That is their attendance at this leadership summit. So staff have taken a look, and we've looked at historical perspectives, certainly with regards to the council accounts in past. And the report is short and sweet, but basically we believe it would not be or provide a financial hardship if you decided to support them to a platinum level, much like the Chamber of Commerce, I believe, which is a $2,000 level of support, and certainly anything lower than that. And myself personally, in the recommendation, I recommend that you support at the platinum level. It's a significant initiative. It's a new thing, and the group, as you will remember, did promise to work with us and volunteer on a specific topic that we would agree to later. So we will get some value out of the group later as part of a quid pro quo.
Yeah. So the work would come first, cash would come after, correct?
Your Worship, I could talk to the staff and we can time that, but it would be good to get a decision and a resolution now. And then I believe publicly they've made that commitment and they will hold to it regardless of when we give them the support.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's during the spring break, isn't it? Yeah.
And we have a representative here from the group, and maybe if you have any further questions.
Yeah, would you be willing to entertain a couple of friendly questions from council?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Joe, feel free to
Okay.
stand up or grab a seat or whatever you feel is appropriate. Councillor Erickson.
Thank you for coming. I just have a couple quick. How much have you raised so far?
So we just got a gold sponsorship today from Emil Anderson of $1,000.
Yeah.
So that totals, I believe, around
We're around 4,025.
yeah, 4,025 so far.
And what's the date you're leaving? What date is it?
April 9th to 11th, and I believe we leave on the 8th.
We live on the 5th.
The 5th.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councillor Croft.
Thank you. Thanks for coming again. I think the last time that we were talking to you that you had said that your trips were paid for, you're looking for the rooms and all the other expenses now. Is that right?
Yeah, so our flights are paid for
That's
right now.
So that's excellent. So yeah, okay, well that's good. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And any Councillor Stewart, Councillor Doyle? Okay.
Can I just add something, Your Worship?
Yes.
We can't commit to spring break. I heard somebody mention something about spring break.
No, it was
Okay.
a trip on spring break.
Oh, it's not, no, okay, yeah, sorry, I just didn't want you to be like, well, the kids can do something over spring break and they cannot, they have.
No, understood.
Okay,
I
awesome,
wouldn't be that
thank
far
you.
out.
No chopping wood or...
Yeah, chop wood, there's the Hope 10K, there's only so much we can do, so.
So would council be amenable to this suggestion?
Yes.
Okay, Councillor Dybel moving, Councillor Medlock, I'll second. That's the seconder.
It doesn't say whatever it is.
Okay, comment, Councillor Medlock?
Oh, I think it's
Thanks. I was wondering, since the presentation where we were able to fit this into our budget, so I was wondering if it would be precedent setting to do something like this, but I feel like this is a good fit for it, because we've had a council contingency fund in the past that hasn't even been drawn upon. And it doesn't really fit with our grant and aid policy, and those applications are in October, and they're not paid out till July. So I feel like this is a good thing, and we'll see if anything more comes out of it, but over all the years on council, we haven't really used something like our council contingency, so I think this is a good use of the funds. Yeah.
Okay. Additional comments? Motion's on the table. All those in favor? Contrary? Motion carries. Well done. No committee reports. Mayor's report, I got a few meetings this week, so I guess I'll have to record those later. The Regional District, Regional Library, and we have a meeting with our MLA coming up this week as well, which will be good to catch up on things. I understand there's an exciting announcement in dealing with the at-risk population in our community. I think if my information serves me correctly, there was some warm zone funding that was granted, thanks to the works of Councillor Dybel with her other hat on. And that will, I guess, allow 24/7 open facilities at the Thunderbird for folks that are going through a hard time, that need a place to warm up till the end of March, is that correct? Yeah, so that sounds pretty good, because there are a number of folks that need that in our community, and so well done there. Councillor Croft.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Erickson.
Sure, I have just a couple of things. Attended a ratepayers meeting, and on March 17, they're having that Lego contest again. And looks like it's all planned, it's gonna be much bigger and better than last year. I think instead of just 1 or 2 people coming, there's several coming with their Lego demonstration. And pretty well all arranged, right, John? It's all arranged, yeah.
Is that called a block party?
Yeah.
Sorry, Lego joke.
But it's during spring break, and it's going to be a real busy weekend that weekend, because there's going to be hockey tournaments, and there's going to be the run on Sunday from Chamber Run. So it's going to be a very busy weekend. And the Chamber is planning for, we don't have a firm date in February, to show that movie Us and Them, regarding the homeless people. They did it's a documentary on following 4 people in Victoria over a 10-year period. It's a really, really moving movie documentary, and I think it's good for all of us to see, because we're getting more and more homeless people and people on the street, and it'll be announced quite a bit in the community to see if we can get a quite big group to come out. Because we went around this summer with this. We had several times meeting with, what do you call those guys? Panhandling. And this will go along with that. And everybody that sees it has been really moved by it. Because these people aren't there at their will.
Sometimes they are.
Pardon me? Oh, anyways, it'll be a good movie. The Chamber's going to put it on. We're hoping to get one of the people from Victoria to come and have a little talk prior to the meeting. So we're just waiting on that. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Councillor Erickson. Councillor Dillard.
Thank you, not a whole lot to report. There's an Advantage Hope meeting tomorrow that I won't be able to make. Are you able to make it?
No, I haven't committed
Okay.
on Tuesday nights.
I'll maybe send them a district report then, so they can have something to report on there. There was another structure fire in our community on Friday night, and so Stu Peters and his family are without a home, so they've got a GoFundMe page that's open. The link's on Facebook there, so I just encourage people to go to that and support them, because it's a tough thing to see. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Councillor Dillard. Councillor Stoon.
So I attended a Golden Agers meeting this past week, and really great discussion, and special thanks to Victor for your support that day. That was perfect timing.
Crashing party.
Perfect timing. And they had one question. Is it in the, like, do we have a policy that says that when you shovel snow from your driveway, that it must be on your own property? Where you put the snow is on your own property? So I guess the example is, if I have a vacant property across the street from me, can I put the snow there? Or do we have something that says it must be on our property?
Your Worship, my recollection of the policy is it doesn't stipulate where people must remove their snow to. Clearly, some people do try to push it out on the street and have the district crews remove it. I would think if people are thinking about removing it to an adjacent property, that they seek permission of the adjacent property owner first. If it's a vacant property, obviously they're rolling the dice that the property owner doesn't have an issue with it.
Okay, so that was the Golden Agers. Their next meeting is February 20th. I also attended the Chamber of Commerce meeting with Councillor Erickson. He's already reported out. And I did a webinar with MAH00184 last week, and it was on business continuity management. So I did not know what that was when I first joined, and I was very engaged and optimistic because shortly after that, I saw an incident unfold that just went, yes, we're doing a great job with this. So that was very informative, and I'm glad I got a chance to do that. That's everything.
Awesome. Mr. Dial?
I have nothing to report, and unfortunately, I have commitments on Tuesday night, and I haven't been able to make the actual meeting, so I'm not sure if you are okay with me still being on that committee, or you want to assign somebody else. I know Councillor Medlock is typically there. It's just tomorrow night we won't have anybody present. So.
Yeah, we can always reassign something for the next meeting.
I'm available 7 tomorrow night if you would like.
You can never say no to free help.
Right.
Yeah.
Your Worship, I think it'd be nice if you could mention the event coming up for the BC Ride for Cancer that you'll be attending.
I don't have all the information on it. Yeah. Sorry, there is a planning meeting coming up, and I left the information at home, actually.
Okay, well, maybe,
It's Wednesday.
it is Wednesday night at the rec
If you
center.
look at your emails, I think I left, there was a list of.
Yeah, I think it's just a planning meeting at this point, though, it's not. the
You're gonna
actual
say a few words, so it is out at Facebook, so anyone that wants to attend and start generating the buzz about this huge event that will be coming in August. It's a great thing.
The Road to Conquer Cancer, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, we have a couple of items under permits and bylaws. Item A, zoning amendment bylaw 1403, 2017. I'll read it out and then we can have a motion on the table if the desires. That District of Hope zoning amendment bylaw 1403, 2017 be adopted in order to rezone the property legally described as 63654 Walnut Drive from single-family residential RS1 to single-family residential with a secondary dwelling RS1S. So do we have that in motion
So
form?
moved.
Okay, Councillor Crott moving, Councillor Stewart seconding. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Thank you. Item B, zoning amendment bylaw number 1404, 2017. And I do not see any actual residential addresses here, so I think, to be fair, what's that? Where?
9899.
Oh,
9499.
Not in the,
It's on the bylaw.
okay, let's get the address here. 949, yeah, that'll save me reading out the legal description, which will go on forever.
96999.
And I think what I will do in this one, who is the acting mayor today here on the schedule? Councillor Crott?
I think he's.
Okay, Councillor Erickson, since I attend the Baptist
Oh,
church and
and-
Councillor Dybel attends the Baptist church, I should probably
yes.
hit the wagon trail here for a couple of minutes and you're officially his worship, Councillor Erickson.
Do you want the big chair?
So Donna, would you read that out for us?
Sure. Sorry, I'm using the cursor. The District of Hope zoning bylaw amendment bylaw number 1404, 2017 be given third reading in order to rezone the properties legally described as Lot 4, Section 9, Township 5, Range 26, west of the 6th Meridian, Yale Division, Yale District Plan 6127, property ID 004683013, and lots 11 and 12 of the same legal description, PID 010738207 and 010738223.
Do we have a motion, any motion on the floor?
Yeah, I'll make, but
Any discussion? Or a second, I guess we need a second.
Second.
Okay. So do we have any, is everything okay with that as far as you?
Your worship, your acting worship, no, everything looks fine and in order. Once again, it was to bring in a non-compliance that was happening at the site with the zoning being split, so it's to bring everything into conformance under the institutional zone, which allows for religious institutions to be, that used to be facilitated.
I just have one question.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just curious, but rezoning this property does not affect any adjacent properties for insurance purposes or anything, right?
You're acting worship, no, it doesn't,
Just this.
just this one.
All in favor?
Okay. They can come back.
Better number.
They're
No more
coming.
hiding out?
They're coming.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Erickson, for filling in. Item C, District of Hope Smoking Control Bylaw. And the recommendation of District of Hope Smoking Control Bylaw 1406-2018 be read a first, second, and third time today. So motion to that effect, please. So moved. Okay, Councillor Medlock, seconder.
Second.
Okay, Councillor Dybel, second. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, and that-
Councillor Erickson?
So this smoking bylaw, I know we're updating it. Does that include marijuana smoking? All smoking?
Yes, Your Worship.
It was very clear. Because I went to a course this weekend from a psychiatrist, and the marijuana is a real issue for me in this community, and it includes in this. You know, we can make marijuana legal, but we sure can't make it healthy. And I think we're gonna be ending up, like what the psychiatrist told us, he said, we're not seeing much right now, but give it 20 years. He said, you're gonna see, if we think we've got a lot of people on the streets now, we're gonna have a pile. He went back to the smoking regulations where it was 100 years ago, they used to give cigarettes to get your lungs healthy, to make you feel better. And now we're seeing the results of cigarettes, and so we're putting all these bylaws into effect to keep secondhand smoke away, but not really thinking what the marijuana is doing. So I think we should really think seriously with this marijuana along with this smoking regulation.
And it does include vaping, electronic smoking, etc. So it is all encompassed.
Sounds good.
I can see.
Okay, motion's on the table. All those in favor? Contrary, motion carries, thank you. And then item D, Municipal Ticket Information Amendment Bylaw 1408-2018. Recommendation that Municipal Ticket Information Amendment Bylaw 1408-2018 be read a first, second, and third time this 22nd day of January. So, I have a motion to that effect. Okay,
Second.
Councillor Erickson, Councillor Medlock. Signing in the previous issue. All those in favor? Contrary, motion carries. Item E, District of Hope Bylaw Notice Enforcement Amendment Bylaw 1409. The District of Hope Bylaw Notice Enforcement Amendment Bylaw 1409-2018 be read a first, second, and third time this 22nd day of January. Motion to that effect, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Councillor Crop moving, Councillor Erickson seconding. All those in favor? Contrary, motion carries. Now we have an addition here under the highway dedication, or the road dedication here. So, Mr. Porlowski, if you can introduce us, or Ms. Bellingham, whoever would like to deal with it.
Yes, Your Worship, and I'll push to my colleagues here, but in general, we want to just ensure the proper procedure is followed, the most precise procedure, and to ensure success in this venture. So I'll pass it over to Jazz.
Mr. Gill.
Your Worship, yes, this originally bylaw had come forward under a different plan. It was a proposed plan. And so our surveyor, who was out in the field, created this new plan. And he started looking at our bylaw that was passed, I believe it's the last council meeting.
Yeah.
And he felt that the language within the bylaw wasn't going to be consistent as to what land titles would expect. So we had a discussion with LTSA, and they said, well, if there is some room for error, then the title inspector who will review the plans, it's going to be to their discretion. As more and more the discussion went along with our surveyors, land titles, and other organizations, it seemed that we didn't want to risk it. It would be a, I don't want to say it's a crapshoot.
Just want to manage the risk.
It'd be going in blind, and basically, we wouldn't find out until a certain time frame, which would delay the overall effect. So instead of taking that chance, we felt like that this bylaw should be repealed and then brought forward again under the new plan, which is more concise, and that we feel that it's going to be 99% approved through LTSA once it's gone through this local government stage.
Okay, sounds good.
I just emphasize the performance. I do.
Okay, sounds good, yeah. Exercise time, I guess. So the motion that we are passing will read as, Ms. Bellingham?
That highway closure and removal of highway and lane dedication along 4th Avenue and former Mill Street bylaw number 1412/2018 be read a first and second time, this 22nd day of January 2018.
Okay, so a motion to avoid a potential cluster, Councillor Medley
So
moving.
moved.
Okay, and Councillor Kraft second?
Just have a question?
Well, let's put it on the table.
Okay. I second.
Okay, second?
Yeah.
Okay, Councillor Medlock, Councillor Kraft?
Yeah, thanks. My question is, do we need to repeal that first bylaw that was passed?
And that's built
Right.
into this, point
Okay.
number 5 is in this bylaw.
Ah,
Will be.
I was trying to read as fast as I could. Okay, I
That's
see
okay.
it there.
Yeah.
Bylaw number 1400 will be repealed. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Kraft?
Thanks. So, through you, so are the proponents that originally were asking for any of this notified, or?
Your worship, through, yes, they were notified. Obviously, they were too happy with it. However, it's sooner than finding out from LTSA, which LTSA does have a delay when it comes to inspecting plans. So that could have been another month in delay.
Okay. Good job,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay.
In order to keep, we can sort of expedite the process in the sense that if council's favorable, if we could have a special council meeting on Monday, February the 5th, it could be in the morning, just to give the bylaw third reading. We should hopefully have enough turnaround time with the Ministry of Transportation, have our 2 acts done, that we'd be able to adopt it on the 13th.
Yeah, makes sense. Under the subject of being business friendly, makes sense.
Is council favorable to, would you prefer morning or afternoon or evening?
Morning's good.
All right.
Okay, is there a preferred time in the morning? I know everybody has to get to their businesses.
Earlier the better, I
We
guess.
need a 7:30.
I gotta be at the store by 8, so.
So 7:30?
7:30.
Okay, I can post that then. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion on the table. All those in favor? Contrary. Carries, thank you. Yeah, we get Councillor Erickson back in here. And then, item 9A, motion to receive the correspondence list.
So moved.
Councillor Kraft moving, seconder. Councillor Stewart, thank you. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Thank you. Question period. Anyone? Now,
I'd like to know what's going to happen to the school ground between 5th and 4th and Queen Street.
that would be a school board question.
It's still school board?
Yeah, and it will remain school
It
board.
hasn't been sold to the community?
Nope,
Oh,
no, it's, that would be the school board, my assumption would be they're gonna keep it for community use, because we're a growing community, and it's just a matter of time, that they're gonna have to build another school, so. Be just, be a hard location to duplicate in the community, so hopefully that's what they do, so. Additional questions? Sir?
I would have liked to know if the smoking control bylaw includes the provincial forest east of the golf course road, or whether this is a separate issue, and if you don't have a smoking control for that area, why not?
It's not within the boundaries of the District of Hope.
Okay.
The bylaws that we oversee are only within the boundaries of Hope. I think you're going a little bit out of what you're describing. if I'm not
Yes, it's just, it's along the river, but it's within the town itself. And I always felt it was odd that we can stop people from running their dogs loose and put signs up, but we are not able to put no smoking signs up in that area. Any fire there would be an immediate danger to any of the houses along that forest. And somehow we don't seem to be able to do anything about that. And I think we should have some controls there. And especially since I pointed out there are people living under the bridge. There are open fire sites on 3 separate places that I have visited. And it's just a matter of time until the debris and the trees catch fire. And it could happen very easily, especially in the kind of climate we are having right now.
So which area are you speaking about again here? I'm a little confused as to exactly
I'm sorry?
The backside of the golf course? Are you talking about the backside of the golf course?
East of the Gulf.
It's the area on this side of the Coquihalla River
Yeah,
and directly west of the golf course bridge.
yeah.
And there are lots of people walking there, there are cigarette butts all over the place. There are people living in that forest on and off.
Yeah.
And I think it's really a problem that's going to be a serious problem for Hope if we don't have some controls.
Yeah. No, it's a valid point. It's definitely hard to outlaw stupidity, though. It's, you know, anyone that smokes, that throws a cigarette down when they're walking through a forest is, I don't necessarily think a sign would help. If someone is ignorant enough to drop a cigarette in a wooded area in the summer, that's...
Well, true enough, but if you don't have a rule and a sign, you have no way to even confront the people that are being careless with their fire.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can say to them.
The one thing we might be able to do is work with forestry. I know that the fines that forestry can levy on members of the public through the courts is huge, because when folks do reckless things in other areas of the province, there's been some fines in the tens of thousands of dollars. So maybe there's some sort of a sign campaign we could undertake with forestry and go at it that way. Because our fines are reasonably small, but something through forestry might have a little more attached to
We'll
it.
look into that, Your Worship.
Yeah.
We'll report back.
Yeah.
I mean, so far we've been lucky, but we can't count on that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that it's a provincial law that you're not permitted to drop your cigarette butts anywhere. Like, that's illegal. Is that not true? People are not allowed to flip cigarette butts ever.
But I think the fine for starting a fire is huge. Dropping something and it doesn't start a fire is not a huge fine. But if people know that if they drop their cigarette butt and it causes forest fire or substantial fire and they have a $20,000 fine, say, they might think twice about that, whereas on a $100 fine or what have you.
I know they started that, like, quite in earnest this summer, where, there was a fire started on the side of Highway 1 and somebody was levied a fairly significant fine for having started it, but
with no signs, you can't expect the people to know that it's a bad thing to do.
Yeah. No, well, we'll definitely look into it with forestry too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, and the next meeting will be February 13th, on a Tuesday. Yeah, the next regular one, but February 5th for the
Special.
meeting. Yeah. Anyone's welcome to attend the special meeting too, if you're so inclined. Anyways, motion to adjourn to the in camera, please. Councillor Medlock, seconder. Okay. Councillor Dival or Councillor Ernst? Tie again. All those in favor? Thank you. 2-minute break.